The Leo and Danny show. Yeah, I told a story on my Instagram that after we left the meetup, all these fans were scattering like something that scatters bugs from the point of the meetup, and of course they were speeding, and half of them were under the influence. So the cops are having a frenzy, just pulling over all these jackass
a lot of
kids
action for
with
them,
Danny Mullen merch on, talking about a party the Senate of America that it came from. So eventually they see us. They're like, "Oh, that's the fucking mothership." They pull us over. The RV we end up
we
getting,
were the mothership.
the RV we rented was a piece of shit. I tried to put on the taillights, and the button fell through the dashboard and just disappeared. So I had no lights other than my headlights.
We'll never probably get an RV again. It could have been cool in a different way. Like, I don't know. Like, there's could have been a way to make it cool, but it was pretty inconvenient. It's all the way through.
If you have an RV, the fun thing to do would be to get shit-faced with a bunch of people on it, and throw a party and pass out and basically destroy the thing. But I was too paranoid about losing my deposit. So we were so careful with this thing and so terrified of any branches scraping the top of it, or of us cutting a turn too tightly and the tires going on a curb. It wasn't much fun. It was just a headache. Well, the cops pull over the mothership going 40 miles per hour down the road with no taillights. And they ask us about the channel. They're like, yeah, we keep these little drunk bastards keep saying they came from the center of America. My tongue sharp as a knife. There's no way this officer could have taken me for drunk. I hadn't drank in a single drop that whole night. He just asked me straight up. He says, yeah, man, we're going to let you guys go. Just put your hazards on. Do you have any methamphetamine or large amounts of currency on the fucking RV?
And cocaine, they asked, yeah.
Large amounts of currency.
That's weird. Well, I guess because that would make us drug dealers. But yeah, he was adamant about coming on board. And I love that you said yes. For a second, I thought you were going to say no.
There was another time I came clean to a cop on this trip too.
Yeah.
We got tied up in the world of Kansas politics. You guys are going to see in the upcoming video. There was a candidate that we kept seeing signs for named Mike Kagay.
We just loved his name. We loved his name, Mike Kagay.
At like 7 a.m. the first day of filming, we saw that and decided to tie it into the video. He was running for a district attorney against a guy named what?
His name was Luttrell.
Luke Luttrell?
No, it was, something Luttrell, yeah.
Well, I saw Luttrell roadside,
yeah.
and I was like, Luttrell? Running against my boy Kagay? Excuse me, Kagay?
Apparently pronounced Kagay, which isn't a lot better than Kagay. Kagay?
I said, I don't think so. So I get up like a football player scooping up a fumble. I grab this sign, yank it out of the fucking earth, and start running down the sidewalk, hop into our Jetta that we rented, and Nico speeds off. Well, fast forward a couple miles down the road, there are flashing lights from an undercover cop car that pulls us over. This is a completely different incident, people, than the guys who pulled over the RV. The guy gets out, he's like, yeah, sir, talking to Nico. I saw you didn't signal that last right turn. You pulled into the far lane when you were making a left. And, oh yeah, I saw the gentleman sitting shotgun pull up that Luke Luttrell political sign and steal it from somebody's front lawn. So I go, shit. And at first, I go into, I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent.
Yeah.
But then something about it, I think I learned it a couple places. First of all, I always liked Tucker Max growing up. You know who Tucker Max is.
Yeah, of course.
Tucker Max wrote a book called I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell, which was a #1 New York Times bestseller. He was like me in the written generation. Before there was Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, he did what I do, but he wrote it all down on paper instead of putting it out on video. He was Danny Mullen 1.0, or I'm Tucker Max 2.0, I don't know. But he said in there, and he would tell stories of these things, like they drove an RV through the center of Harlem, and they were throwing full 40s of alcohol at people's cars.
Oh my God.
They were flipping people off. They were running red lights. Eventually, this big black lady they hit with a full 40 of Mickeys on her hood.
Oh my God.
She pulled in front of them, cut off the road in the middle of Harlem, like on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Street. The car gets surrounded by angry black people, and a bunch of fucking officers surround it, and they put them all under arrest. Tucker Max was able to get out of that by just being extremely honest and sucking the cops' dicks, metaphorically. So I always took that as a lesson. And then also, Leo, when we got stopped in Fresno about a year ago for me breaking a breakaway beer bottle over your head
Yes.
at the opening day of Fresno State University.
Yeah.
We were trying to make up something like, oh, we were performers with the new student administration and we had a disagreement about the routine. So, and the cop was like, listen, guys, drop the shit. Just tell me what fucking happened. And I think a light clicked there for me. If you just tell cops the fucking truth and you respect them, you call them sir, if they like you, they're not going to fucking want to do the hour or two of paperwork that it's going to take to give you a $500 ticket for ripping out a political sign from somebody's lawn.
Absolutely.
So I go up, at first I'm like, sir, I'm not prepared to talk about where I procured this sign until my attorney is present. I was going with that, right, Leo?
I was going with that. And I really, because we didn't know what was going to happen, I mean, we didn't really realize that these Kansas cops are fucking awesome, because that's the truth at the end of the day. We thought that this might have been one guy that was bored, that didn't have anything to do, and was willing to put Danny behind bars.
And it was maybe 2 hours into our first day of a 4-day weekend of shooting.
Right. And this guy
could have fucked us up.
It could have fucked us up bad. I was like, whatever, dude. We got a bit. I was going to be like, all right, this is going to be the Danny goes to jail video. Like, I was like, shit, what are me and Neek's going to do? But it turned around for the better. And this guy ended up being like, honestly, a fan. Almost.
Because what happened was I said, you know what? It was like I received a signal from the angels. I just thought, officer, can I tell you what happened? Is it all right if I just get out of the car right now? And he's like, yeah, a little bit taken aback. And when I got out, he was like, so you understand you're telling me all this information willingly and I am not extracting this from you. And that's when he said that, I was like, oh, you're being a fucking idiot, Danny. But I was like, yes, sir. I have the footage in my phone right now. I walked up to that lawn and I stole the sign. I'm an idiot. I did this. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go to that house and see if they want to press charges. He went, we waited. I was kicking myself saying, Danny, you just violated what your father has told you all your life. Just shut the fuck up when the cops pull you over. But it turns out the people weren't home. He came back. His attitude had totally changed. And he was like, all right, man, I don't know where to go from here. I got your driver's license. Give me your phone number. I'll call you if this goes anywhere. But you guys are free to go. He starts talking to us about Southern California. I guess he likes to vacation here.
Yeah.
Next thing we know, he was our buddy.
He was our buddy. Yeah. That was a great turnaround, because I was worried. I did really believe that was going to be the one time where a cop was so bored. I mean, they had this guy. He was in an unmarked Ford Escape, sitting at a random street, I think, waiting for someone to steal that sign. Why the fuck else was he there?
You think it was bait?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but he was in an unmarked car, undercover. He was an undercover cop in a street. It was like the coincidence that happened. It was fucking nuts. But it ended up being great.
And that same attitude took me back, maybe because I was grateful for that cop. And then also, we conducted a seance in a haunted graveyard. By the way, we got a psychic out there. And we summoned the spirit of the devil's child. A fictional character from my high school. She asked me about somebody I knew from high school who I was at odds with, and I just made up this guy, Carl, who drove himself off a bridge to kill himself because I fucked his girlfriend in the ass the night before.
Wasn't it over his passed out body or something?
Yeah. I sodomized his girlfriend over his passed out body. And then my grandma somehow got in the mix too.
Your grandma was in there too.
My grandma, this kid named Carl, and the devil's baby were all present in a graveyard as I sang a song.
Yeah, you said your grandmother hated hearing you sing.
Yeah, so I had to make her sit there, and I tried to change her opinion with my song. But a fucking state trooper pulls up right as I'm finishing up my song. Angelic timing. And the devil goes poof and he disappears. So does Carl. So does my Nana. And then the officer gets out. He's like, you're all being detained. Don't you see these signs right here that say no trespassing?
You don't speak English. You don't read English. What's going on here? And I was like, fuck, dude. This is another time where I'm pretty sure we're fucked.
That guy goes to his car. I notice he starts laughing and giggling and smiling.
Yeah.
He comes back totally attitude adjusted for some reason, starts taking down the channel name, telling me that, oh, dude, you got to send me this clip. This sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
And I think because I was thankful for those two guys, when the dudes asked me outside the RV if they could search the RV for large amounts of currency, meth, and coke, at first I was like, guys, this is ridiculous. I'm a YouTuber. I clearly don't have any of this.
You said I don't have time to smuggle drugs.
But then I thought, you know what? The cops of Kansas have been good to you. And I asked them, will it help you fellas out? And they're like, yeah, man, we got a quota. It'll really help with our boss. Just to clear that this wasn't some gigantic drug ring taking place in the center of America. I was like, you know what? Come aboard, fellas. Come aboard. They come on. They know at that point that we're clean. They don't even look around. They just start asking about the channel, dicking around. And that's when Nico, that's when Nico decides to stomp out a fucking moth. He's like, what the fuck? Yeah, the fucking moth. Yeah. And starts stomping it. And the officer's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I had to take you to jail. That's the state bird of Kansas.
Yes, we couldn't film that interaction, but we got we probably could have. We could have, we got a great picture.
We thought we were done. That's the one thing Nico should have filmed after the meetup was done.
Yeah, the fucking cops coming on board.
I have to sort through 10 minutes of the unleaded meter going up outside of a fucking Texaco station, but I can't have the footage of him stomping out a butterfly in front of a cop. A moth, excuse me.
Yeah, man. Fucking neeks, dude. But yeah, but look, lesson is we continue to have great experiences with cops. And I don't know that it's ever going to stop. These cops have all been absolutely upstanding citizens to us, and it's been cool. It's been cool dealing with them because it's been a tough year for cops, you know?
Sucks, dude.
They were saying it also, usually we get to that topic with the cops, and they've all been saying that they also think the media is overblowing this hatred that people have for cops because they haven't really seen it at all. The kids were telling me that the cops in Kansas are everywhere and that they're always catching people doing shit, and they really feel safe because of it. You know, they feel like Kansas is pretty crime free.
One of the cops, the state trooper, I believe, who pulled us over during the seance, or who interrupted the seance, he said that he stopped a guy who was wearing an I Can't Breathe shirt, a black guy, and he said the black guy was completely cordial to him. He was the one, I think, saying that this narrative that everybody hates the cops and everybody's spitting on them in public is overblown. You see the occasional Twitter clip of somebody throwing a Molotov at a police officer, which is distressing, but hopefully it isn't as bad out there as the media would lead us to believe.